Hi all, and thanks for joining. I will hand over to Andrew to start.
Thanks very much, Isabel. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrew White from Sovanta. I'm the head of experience management. And today we've got an exciting webinar where we're going to be talking about how do you truly know how efficient your call center is and why your customers are reaching out. So just before we begin, just a few housekeeping matters. The session will be recorded and the slides will be and the recording itself will be made available on Monday. And if you've got any questions throughout the session, there is a question and answer chat window. So please feel free to just drop the questions in there and we'd be happy to answer them at the end or perhaps even during the presentation. Okay, let's make a start. As I mentioned, my name is Andrew White. I head up the experience management team at Sovanta. And today I'm joined by colleagues Kasim Siddiqui and Bernardo Junger, who are both consultants within the team. Just a few words about Sovanta. Some of you may be already familiar with the company, but we were founded in 2009 with the aim of fundamentally simplifying working with business software. And since that time, we've launched over 500 projects with more than 240 customers, more than 2 million users. So that's quite an impressive number of projects and customers, I think, in that amount of time. So we've gained considerable experience working across areas such as certainly the SAP suite here, BTP squad, HXM squad. So that's certainly a large part of our day-to-day work. And within the XM squad, we are an end-to-end implementation partner, delivering projects within the customer experience field, employee experience field, as well as frontline care. Today's session is mainly focused around frontline care, and I would just maybe jump in by just setting the scene a little bit. So contact centers, what the challenges and opportunities are here. Okay, so clearly contact centers are they're representing your companies. This is certainly an important channel for customers to interact with your company. It may be the first time that they have interacted with your brand. So that, I think we all are familiar with what that experience is like on certainly as customers calling in. But we typically expect fast, easy, and effective resolution of the issues that we're calling about. And it's imperative that we deliver excellent service. So call agents that provide excellent service are known to help maximize loyalty and to minimize churn risk. One of the challenges is, one of the things that we need to bear in mind is that call centers are very expensive and they don't typically generate revenue. So this puts a strain on certainly on the call center agents. It's an exceptionally difficult job, demanding, and call center managers that need to overview the level of service that they're providing. So there are all sorts of, as you may be aware, contact center metrics that are of interest here. And in order for these agents to do their job, then they need to be really embedded in a very robust network of a support network, whereby they gain access to training that supports them. They need to be across various technologies in order to do their jobs, and they're held to a very high standard. Importantly, contact centers then also represent the largest source of opportunity to improve your people, your process, and your product. Large volumes of calls usually are processed by call centers. They are distributed across the globe in many instances. And I think what really characterizes call centers is the unsolicited nature of the callers and of the information, and that this information is largely unstructured. Buried within this unstructured information, though, there is valuable input related to your people, your processes, and your product. But this information first needs to be structured, of course, and before you can analyze it. So that's one of the themes that's going to run through today's webinar, how you go about doing that. As a partner of Qualtrics, we know that you have an incredibly powerful platform at your disposal. And one of the key elements here that enables us to start to structure this data and to analyze it and to drive action within your companies then is the frontline care. Good. I'd hand over to my colleague Bernardo, who will run through the agenda, and we'll then launch into a demo then. Thanks, Bernardo.
Thank you very much, Andrew. So the topics for the agenda today are what challenges and opportunities exist when companies collect unstructured feedback. We are going to have a demo from my colleague Kasim. It's going to show a use case for the retail company in the context of customer call center. And we are going to talk about what are the main preparation steps that need to be done if you are thinking about launching an XM Discover project. And last but not least, we are going to have some minutes for Q&A, and you also can use the chat as Andrew mentioned before. So starting with the first topic, what challenges and opportunities exist when companies collect unstructured feedback? So this is just a screen representing here that more and more people are getting in touch with companies through very, very different channels, very different ways of accessing and getting in contact with your brand. And it's getting more and more complex to have all this into the radar and understand in all the different touch points what's going on. And with Qualtrics Frontline Care, you are going to have the possibility to bring in all the different interactions, be it calls or social media or data from surveys, from forums and reviews, from messaging, chats, emails, even data from the operational data from your business or some data from your data warehouse. You can all integrate it into Qualtrics Frontline Care. And this will be analyzed and put into different dimensions so that I can analyze it and I can prepare this data in a way with dashboards and different methodologies to different stakeholders, as you see here on the bottom, bringing the data in a way that it's consumable and easy to understand, and exactly focusing on the pain points and what those stakeholders are willing to analyze and understand when they go through all these initially unstructured data, but then Qualtrics Frontline Care will help with all this organization. It's a very powerful tool and a solution that it's extremely scalable. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is an example of some data that we can receive as a transcription from a call in a call center. And you see that usually there are two parts, if you say so, to classify the data that you receive. On the left side are some examples of fields that are known, that are structured. So I know what the meaning is from the beginning on, and I know how easy it is to analyze because again, it's already structured. On the right side, though, you see that there will be a typical conversation of an agent in the customer call center and what the client is saying. So there will be a lot of text, a lot of conversations, a lot of transcribed audios, and this is usually the unstructured part. And without any kind of help from a system, it's going to be very, very cumbersome to structure this and to analyze what the real content and the value of analyzing this is getting to us via this system. So it has previously been difficult to obtain all answers to these questions in the context of a customer call center, and we'll go through some of them here. So what are the main reasons customers reach out to us? Do you really know that? Which are the most important training opportunities for our call agents? What is the likelihood that a customer will churn? Are our customers perceiving an impact after the changes we recently implemented? How can we evaluate all high data volume we get? What emotions can be identified at our customers? How are the customers' emotions evolving over time? How and which areas can we reduce our operating costs? What is the service quality level of our agents? How is this developing over time? And according to our customers, where shall our focus be when thinking about change? Where is it worth to invest, and what is the priority? So now we'll hand over to my colleague Kasim. He will show a quick demo of a dashboard showing exactly what it could look like, or how it could look like when you structure all this information from a call center.
Yes, thank you, Bernardo. So just one. Yeah. So over here, for example, what you see is an example of a frontline care dashboard over here. So once your voice to text setup is done, and once we are bringing in the call in frontline care, so you can then come here and make a dashboard and analyze your data. So normally a dashboard page, a general summary dashboard, which I'm showing right now over here, it can start with some basic KPIs that you have decided, whatever you want to measure, which are important for you. So for example, what you see over here, I have volume, customer experience, resolution rate, sales and retention effectiveness, agent performance, average duration. So I can get a very good view over here. What is the current value, and also how much it has changed since the last month, for example, over here, if it has increased or if it has decreased. This can be very helpful because if you see strong dips or in one of the values, then you know that there is something which needs more attention on my side to look into it, to look into the data and to find out what is causing the change in this one of these KPIs. One other thing you might also remember from the slide is that one good thing about XM Discover is you can bring data from different sources. This is very helpful for us. So because when customers are reaching us, they are also talking about different things through different data sources. So for example, in audio, like the calls we have, customers might be talking about something different, completely different than what customers are talking in chats or transactional or any digital data we have. In XM Discover, once you have all these different data sources, you can also come in here and, for example, in our case, I just click on one of these bars over here, which is audio. Now what I'm seeing is all the topics that have been discussed in the calls in terms of percentage. So gift cards, order issues, account updates. These are generally topics that are being discussed in audio. Again, and then I can, if I want to select, let's say chat, and then I can see how it looks like for the chat topics. Furthermore, I can over here, what you see over here is I can also see the journey opportunities over here together with resolution rate and experience score. This is again a key metric that we are using in our case, and I can see how it develops with different channels that I am having, the data I'm bringing in from different channels. Yes. Also, once you start getting more data in over time, you can make use of this widget, which is a line chart. This also is again very helpful for us. So you can see how things are developing over time, specifically your KPIs. So, for example, in our case, we have experience score, resolution rate, performance score. So in our we can see, for example, if there is a certain drop in a certain point, we can find out right away, and then we can also further see which topics, for example, are getting discussed when, let's say, when the experience score is dropping. And moving forward over here, so what you see over here is what are the opportunities to increase experience, reduce cost, and improve customer interaction. So what are the areas where we should focus on? Is our performance increasing or declining? What are the key opportunities for us to improve? So you can see over here, I have 3 different sides over here. One is experience opportunities, saving opportunities, and behaviors. So what I see over here is top 5 negative experience drivers. I see different topics over here, different issues that are being talked about in my feedback that I'm receiving, and together with an experience score in terms of percentage. So that gives me an idea that whenever one of these topics is getting discussed, the experience is usually negative. Over here, we have top 5 contact reduction opportunities. That's also an interesting one over here. These are the areas where we have detected that we could reduce the contact opportunities, and customers, we can find a better way to deal with customers over here. Over here, I see is top 5 agent behavior opportunities. So I see which of the topics you can see if my agent is showing empathy, are they building relationship, and what is the percentage? Right now, what we see over here is everything on this page, performance summary. It's an overview of all the data I have and how it looks like. But if I'm more interested in digging deep further, we can also do that. So another important thing to keep in mind is, so when we are getting data in frontline care, so the call data we are getting, if we have a lot of metadata in there, this is a point that will probably also come in the presentation, that can help us a lot with our analysis, whatever we are doing. So to show you what I mean exactly, let's move towards this page, which is called Frontline Performance. So over here, we are now looking at how well our agent interacting with our customers, and which are the agents that might need some more coaching and some areas of improvement for certain agents I have. And are the agents also following the way that we want them to do things when they're interacting with the customer? And again, yeah, the areas where we can improve. So over here, starting over here in this part, what you see is, again, some key metrics over here. So we have agent performance score, behavior score, verification score, greeting closing score, exceptional interaction. A good example over here, what you see is, for example, verification score. This could be an important thing that we want our agents to verify the customers. So this could be an age verification. This could be an email address verification or address. This could be an important part depending on the industry that you have. So you can also come and see how much it has, what's the value at this moment and how much it has changed over time. After that over here, what I see is how is our overall agent behavioral performance. What I see over here is the different names of the managers I have. And on the right-hand side, this part, this shows me the name of the agents I see. And then over here, agent performance is scatter plot. So for example, I see over here in the name of the managers I have, I also see in terms of percentage, I can see which manager is performing better, which one is having a lower score than the others. Also, what I can do is if I click on one of these, I can also filter the rest of the part of the dashboard to this agent. So now I only see the call center agents for this manager. One other thing to also keep in mind is it could be a case that in certain businesses or in certain countries or regions, there might have some very strict data privacy policies over there, and they might not allow to have the names like this we have over here, for example, supervisor manager name. In that case, we also can do one other thing is in which we simply give an agent ID or supervisor ID. And over here, it will only come, it could be a combination of alphanumeric values. The thing is, we will not know, but someone in your company will know that what exactly that relates to. So if there's a alphanumeric value, this means that this is talking about, for example, the person over here, let's say Canon Roglio. So only you will know and no one else will know. So that's one way you can also then mask the identity of your agent or supervisor. After here, if I move forward, I see some soft skill competencies. I see acknowledge customer, display confidence, confirm actions, and how much it was in the call happening, how many times, how much in terms of percentage in the call it was happening. Again, then I see some performance trends over here as well. So again, if I see some drops or if there's some major huge changes, maybe is there something I need to dig deep into it? Maybe I might find something more interesting, more helpful for me. So again, this is also a very good way of visualizing your data, especially when you have your key metrics and numeric values. Yes. After that, over here we have some how are we performing at soft skill behaviors. So over here we also have again a KPI, which is a behavior score. It's in percentage, and I can see over here different agent names, and I see how many calls they were working with, how many calls did they work with customers, and what is the behavior score, and also the change in behavior score. This can be based on you can decide if you want a change in months or year, depending on whatever you want. And then I see over here, so this person had 56 calls and it has a really good behavior score. Also on the top, I see for volume, it's a total over here behavior, it's an average of all the calls we have. And again, also the average of change in behavior score overall. Again, over here, we also have a trend line over here where I can see that how it changed over time. Also, if I'm looking into one of the agents and I see, okay, maybe this one has lost, for example, 1.8 points less. So if I'm interested in it, if I just click on the name of the agent, these rest of the widgets will update and I can only see the data now for this particular person, for this particular agent. So I can see how it's developing over time. Moving forward over here, we have some more soft skill competencies, soft skill behavior. So we have different topics over here: acknowledge customer, display confidence, what are my agents doing? And then again, some soft skill behavior like eager to help and praise cooperation, proactively assist. For example, if I'm more interested in seeing the exact sentence that the agent said where we detected some of these words, so what I can do is, if I come, for example, I see proactively assist, is my agent proactively assisting? If I click on this, on the right-hand side, this widget also gets updated. Now I can see. So for example, in this call, I see, thank you for calling. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, so this goes in the topic of proactively assist. So I know that my agent did this. And then I can see all the other examples, all the other sentences where proactively assist was detected. After this over here, we have how are we performing in greeting and closing. So in our case, we kept this as another important key metric we have. So how are our agents doing? So we have 4 different parts in greeting and closing performance. Offer assistance, thank you, offer assist, opening offer assistance, and closing offer assistance, and closing thank you. So I can, again, over here, I can see the list of agents, how many calls they had in terms of percentage, and all these different parts of opening and greeting and closing. As I talked about this earlier in the first part of the page, that, for example, in case verification is very important for us, over here, I can see what type of verification is happening in the calls I have. For example, I see over here the 97.3% of the calls that I have, date of birth verification is happening. The rest is 97.2 for phone number, social security. Again, if this could be something that related to the use case or the company that you have, it might be very important for you. You can also come and see and find maybe there are certain agents who are not doing very good with verification. Then you can find out, and probably that would be a good coaching opportunity for those agents you have. In the last part of this page, what we see is which agent should we focus on coaching. So we have we have divided the agents over here in 3 different categories. We have top performers, most exceptional, and bottom performance. The top performance, it's also again self-explanatory. So these are the agents who are doing really well, and that's why they're also getting a very high performance score. Over here, I have exceptional interactions. This is again a key metric that I have, and I'm seeing how my agents are doing and which agents are the ones which are having the most exceptional interactions. Over here, I have some low performance score. So these are the agents who need some coaching on different topics. Again, once you have more data, and you can also start looking into it, and again, you can go up and in the same page, for example, and find for these people, and you can see how are they doing. You can listen to the calls and how it's changing for these people, and then you can have a more concrete plan on where these agents need better coaching. To sum it up, so we had a look into frontline performance page, more on an agent level, and we also had a more on a upper level, a performance summary dashboard where you see overall picture of how you are doing with feedback that you're receiving from your customer. So thank you, and back to you, Bernardo.
Thank you, Kasim. So continuing here, to get the most out of this Qualtrics Frontline Care call center, there are many opportunities, and the first one is really to boost transparency with automated call analysis, systematic tracking of call reasons, and structured dashboard results. Monitor your main customer call KPIs, gain new insights, and analyze the impact of implemented changes. Identify the most relevant training opportunities for call agents and agent groups. Discover opportunities for process optimization and initiating strategic initiatives. drive change and make decisions based on structured customer feedback analysis. And now going into the direction of how can I prepare myself to launch hopefully successful Qualtrics Frontline Care project. So what are the typical preparation steps? On the left side, we should think about ensuring the recorded customer calls meet high audio quality standards, saying start a conversation with your IT team about the capabilities of your telephony system. The quality here of the audio is extremely important, and it will help to get more accurate results whenever you analyze it. Then in the midsection, define and consider all metadata you want to import alongside calls that provide useful context. So combining the calls itself and the analysis of the calls plus additional metadata around the call, you have a lot of perspectives to evaluate things. But the recommendation here is to start very soon involving workers' council and also data protection representatives right from the start to avoid later struggles on what is allowed or what is not allowed, and to identify exactly which data I can use in my project. And on the right side, decide on the agent behaviors that you want to monitor. What exactly you're looking for, what exactly you want to measure. Some initial examples like everything around escalation management, authentication assessment, empathy, and so on. Now, what are the typical key project phases? So we start with a kickoff planning. Then we go to the solution design, in which we start thinking about which categorization and reporting strategy I want at the end as a final result. And based on that, I will think about all the different parts that I need for that result that I'm looking for. Then we go to build and test, meaning what about the data integration? How to bring in data into the system? Everything around categorization, so structuring the data in the different topics and subtopics I'm interested in, and everything around the building of the dashboard, so how I want to visualize the reporting and to see trends and insights. Then one focus is on data quality checks. We have model audits and a dashboard review phase to make sure that they're all aligning and bringing the value that I expect for all the stakeholders. And on the right side, everything around launching the project. So whenever we want to come to a completion, we have to think about the whole success transition, the design documentation, immersion trainings to enable you to continue with this project and continue fine-tuning the categorization model, the sentiment analysis, everything that needs to be done to improve the quality over time. And last but not least, to launch the appropriate dashboards that you are looking for. This is an indicative delivery plan. So you see there are different blocks over here, and at the very bottom, it's divided by colors. We see exactly who would be taking care of which kind of blocks and tasks over here. So starting from the top, we're going to have, of course, a overall program management, supporting and the whole execution and the change management. Then another block is the model and insights. So here it's more the solution design and the model categorization and sentiment tunings, and later on also the dashboard build. There is another stream called VTT, meaning voice to text. So this part is the transformation of the audio into text. There are several steps here that need to be taken care of, and you see here that it's in blue color, light blue color, meaning on the bottom you see that this is an activity that Qualtrics, the software provider, does it as supporting the whole process here, bringing the data in the right way so that we can work with it in the system. Another block is the quality assessment and quality management, meaning the agent evaluation. So it's about the agent quality assessment design, agent model build, and agent quality assessment dashboard build. Another stream is the enablement, meaning all the possibilities to enable you and your company and your group to work independently in the system and to know all the tips and tricks. And the last big block here, or two blocks, is testing and launching. So everything around quality, continuously quality review, UAT, and the whole readiness launching. And last but not least, the whole optimization and support package for the ongoing success that your project deserves. And this is, again, just an indicative delivery plan. It always depends on the size of your project and how exactly you want to build it. And in this delivery plan here, in our example, you see how many weeks all these different streams would take to finalize everything that we need. Here, and again, a more specific, more detailed view of this voice to text project streamline. On the bottom, you see all the different details for the different steps and to-dos that need to be done in all the different phases. And the three blocks here, the discovery, development, and deployment. And you roughly see what is being done in each of them. So you see that it not all needs a specific organization structure, and there is a specific sequence of the whole things to bring all this data in the way we need in the system. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here the message is, if you're interested, just get Sovanta's deep knowledge and experience to support you. Here you see this QR code here to bring you to the details of how the process works from our side. So it's a link to our experience management page. And with that, I think we go then to the Q&A session, right? Exactly. Is there any question, either from the chat or in case you want to unmute and shoot us your questions? Probably not. Andrew, I think we don't have anything in the chat, do we?
I don't see anything in the chat, Matt. Maybe one question just to put you on the spot a little bit, Kasim, Bernardo. So I'm just wondering whether, so for trying to put myself in the shoes of perhaps a call center manager or someone who's responsible for call centers generally, and thinking about the work that goes into preparing this, then could you share a little bit of light on what the solution design looks like and why you think that that's an important phase?
Yeah, so maybe I start, Kasim, maybe you can add later on. In the solution design, it's all about preparing the whole project the way you want to consume the data later on, right? Like to understand your pain points, to understand where exactly we can add any value and respond the questions, the open questions that you'll have today, instead of analyzing the data and may be able to decide and prioritize everything the best way in your project. So it's all about defining the structure of the final structure that you want to analyze the data. And depending on this kind of concept and design, it has a big impact later on the dashboard. So it's basically thinking about how I want to consume the data later on, and then plan backwards to reach this result. What do I need, and how do I need to do it since the beginning, and which definitions I need now to come later on to that final result. Anything to add, Kasim, or?
No, I think you covered very well. But just yeah, again, the point is, as we also had a look into the dashboard. So, for example, when we have certain KPIs that are very specific for you. So in these solution design calls, you really need to specify also your reporting requirements. What do you expect later on in the dashboard? And that can definitely help once you do this in a more structured way, rather than just going back and forth and trying to decide. So all the stakeholders sitting, and then we are deciding what we want to look in the reporting later on in the dashboard. So that can be a good exercise.
Yeah, thanks to you both. I'd echo that and say that this thinking backwards, so thinking with the end in mind is a key here. So understanding what you want to target, whether it's really that the quality, sort of a quality assurance. You know, typically that's like paired with like understanding the real call reasons. But in the projects that we've worked on, we've noticed that there's quite a range of topics that can be addressed within the call center, depending on where you are at before you've begun one of these projects. So what I can certainly say and attest to is that this is a marked improvement over how call centers have traditionally been run, with very sample-based assessments of agents. This allows you to, well, this frontline care solution really allows you to assess the overall impact of your agents and how they are representing your brand. Look, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for attending. If there are any questions after the call ends, then please feel free to reach out. Here are the email addresses of our consultants, and yeah, as we mentioned, you'll receive a recording and the slide deck early next week. So yeah, thanks very much for attending again, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.